Hello, everyone. Welcome to Soundwave to help business owners find smarter, faster ways to grow. I'm your host, Rob Petrausch. I am the founder of Sound Cove Labs here in Greenwich, Connecticut. We're a modern growth advisory built for the AI age. We help brands automate, accelerate, and scale. And we look forward to having conversations with business leaders who have done this so we can learn from them. Today, we've got a fun one. We've got Rich Salvador from Wow Wash 360 joining us to talk about his experience in the space, and we can hopefully learn a lot from him. Welcome, Rich.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Great to have you. So first off, why don't you tell us where you're calling from?
So we're in Vancouver, Washington, right on the Columbia River. So we service the Vancouver, Portland areas.
Got it. Okay, cool. And so tell us about Wow Wash 360. How long have you been around, and exactly what do you guys do?
So we launched in June of 2023. So I was working for 1-800-GOT-JUNK. That's where I pretty much copied my business model, 1-800-GOT-JUNK. So June of 2023, I went and got my truck out in Florida. I went to school at the Top Gun school there with AC Lockyer and soft wash systems. And I bought into all their systems. And I don't have their equipment. I don't use their equipment anymore. But I do use all their systems and everything I taught there. So 2023 was 6 months time hustle as I was learning the industry. I still work for 1-800-GOT-JUNK. 24, I still was hauling junk until May, and I only worked 8 months in 2024. And this is our first solid full year, and we're just right on the cusp. We're going to be able to break 500,000 this year.
Wow, that's impressive. And so you guys are a mix of residential and commercial, is that correct?
We are, and we're also launching into commercial storefront window cleaning for recurring revenue.
What's the majority at this point?
Residential, luxury homes, mostly luxury homes.
Yeah, talk to me about your typical customer.
So our typical customer, our average ticket size is about $1,800. That's usually going to come in with a moss removal, debris removal off a roof, gutter cleaning. We give a 5-year written warranty when we do a soft wash process on their roof. So our usual customer, $50,000 homeowners and above. We get a lot. We get many that don't hit that mark, and we got a lot that are like. So my big feather in my cap here is early on I got DeAndre Ayton, the center for the Portland Trail Blazers. So I got his $1,700 million mansion right off the bat. I mean, like,
that's a pretty good one.
Right off the bat, I got that one. That was a game changer for me. I got that on a Facebook ad. Got lucky.
Wow.
So his cousin contacted me, and I've been taking care of DeAndre Ayton, his mom, his aunt. They buy a lot. I got some of the other Portland Trail Blazers after I got that. That was really what put me on the map. So we go everywhere from like a $400,000 home to $17 million mansions. We get along the Columbia River. We get a lot of those $3-4 million luxury properties. We clean a lot of those. I wouldn't say that's our typical average customer, but that's what we strive for.
And when you were kind of branching out, what made you say, I'm turning this into a business? Like, what was the moment where you said, this is what I want to make my future? And obviously I see the market for it.
Yeah, well, I was working for 1-800-GOT-JUNK. So 1-800-GOT-JUNK is a very popular company. I'm sure you're familiar. We got them out there.
Of course.
You're in Connecticut?
Connecticut, yep.
Yeah, the main competitor for 1-800-GOT-JUNK is in Connecticut. Junk luggers.
Junk luggers, sure. We see them all the time. I see the trucks go up and down the road.
Yeah, so same business model. I started following the junk business model with 1-800-GOT-JUNK. I'm on LinkedIn, and I talked to the founder, Brian Scudamore, and his key people. And while I was hauling junk, I just started looking at what got me into it is the demographic. What we call the blue tsunami. People with gray hair over 75, they're homeowners. They have expendable income. They're not do-it-yourselfers anymore. A lot of people fall off ladder. That's my customer. The guy that fell off the ladder last season.
Right.
Or they're aware of somebody that fell off a ladder. Because gutter cleaning, roof cleaning, unfortunately, we had a competitor fall off a roof and get killed here this season. So it's not for everybody. I mean, you fall off these roofs, it's going to be a bad day. So that's my demographic, because those guys aren't getting on roofs anymore. They're not do-it-yourselfers. They own a home, and they take care of their homes. That was what got me fired up about it. When actually Cody Sanchez, don't know if you ever heard of an influencer named Cody Sanchez.
I have.
She's phenomenal. So I started listening. I started listening to her, and she buys businesses. That demographic is bountiful in so many ways. There's so many people that are in their 70s that had a nice blue collar business. Kids don't want anything to do with it. They want to drop ship, affiliate marketing from Dubai. Nothing to do with like mom and dad's painting company that they've had for 40 years, or the electrical company, or there's all kinds of these companies that are for sale that already have built-in reoccurring revenue. So when they're talking about that in the service, being from the service industry already, the demographics is huge, and it's only getting bigger. It's the fastest growing part of our society is the people over 75.
Absolutely. Boomers are retiring.
Yep.
And no, as Cody talks about all the time, and and even though on this podcast and our business we focus on AI solutions, AI is not replacing your business.
No, and that that brings you to your next point is AI is changing. It's been able to me to collapse the learning curve in so many places. Just like just with advertising, with I've used AI for everything. I mean, if you go into my website and you hit responsive bid, that quote's being all done by AI, and it's a pretty accurate quote. It grabs all the information from Redfin, it grabs all the information from Zillow, and it pulls in all the information on that house, on how many windows it has, the floor plan, the slope of the roof, everything about it, and then it's able to put together a very reasonable quote. The software quotes a little higher. It quotes for the worst case scenario, so it gives me some wiggle room when I actually get them on the phone. But that's been a game changer. Like as I was sitting here right now, waiting for you to get on here, I mean, I got a job from AI. Well, I got it through my software, but AI made this bid for me right here. I mean, it says congratulations, customers ready to quote. I mean, they're ready to go, and it's going on. It's working when I'm not working. Like I don't know if you see that quote right there. That happened within minutes. I was waiting for you, and AI did that for me. It pulled in the angle of the roof, the slope of the roof, and that took some work because we had to simplify it so that it can learn. Instead of there's so many roof variations and slopes, so it's just three. Is it easy to walk on? Is it somewhat difficult to walk on? Is it impossible to walk on? So that sounds easy, but figuring in to dummy that down so that it would work, because most people don't know the slope of their roof. So that dummied it down, and I probably get about $4,000 to $6,000 a month from AI that I actually never even meet. It's weird because I never meet these people. They come in through our AI platform, they go through our software, they accept the bid, the technician goes out, we get paid, they get a 5-star Google review, and I never met that person. So that's where AI's got me. That's different for me because we got 200 Google reviews as of yesterday, 5-star Google reviews. And I mostly know every one of those people. But now it's getting more hands off. So I look forward to using AI for like training modules, where they actually, the only way I want to give you guys a raise is if you know more and more about our industry. So AI is developing curriculum so I can monitor my technicians and see what their skill set is. And we pay them based off their skill set, not whether or not I like this guy because he's on time and he tucks his shirt in. It allows me to come up with a pay structure based off their skill set.
And do you have that in place yet, or that's somewhere you want to go?
No, I got that now.
Okay. But what do you see as the next phase for you there? It seems like you're automating, and your efficiency is compared to a lot of businesses we speak to, you're ahead of the curve. But what do you want to do next in the efficiency game?
So those kind of questions I ask Chat GPT, and I ask them like questions. It's all about the prompting. There's a book just on prompting. Like, if you're trying to be where the hockey puck's going and not where the hockey puck's at, like, I ask it, like, how to best position myself. Like, I asked it the other night, so we're getting ready to launch into commercial storefront window cleaning. It's a whole different animal. I mean, storefronts get their windows cleaned for as little as $35 a month, and they're getting hit twice a month. So that's a whole different pricing.
Yeah, and actually
it's a business model. So AI using chat actually was showing me how to position myself, how to go about it. I have a coach too. It's Squeegee Pros. They're out of North Carolina. He owns the biggest window cleaning in North and South Carolina. So I emulate, that's another thing, I emulate people that are already very successful, and they're all using AI, and I just kind of like to emulate success. It shortens my learning curve. If I don't have to reinvent something and trial and error, burn through people, if I can just follow my coach's best advice and then use and stack that with AI, it's allowed me to rank #1 for pressure washing in 22 months, where I was planning on 4 years. So I was planning 48 months before I actually started ranking. But I used AI to start ranking first. What I did with AI is first place you rank is we use, it's hard, it's very competitive. So the trick I learned through AI taught me. So you try to rank #1 in one of the unincorporated areas in your county, unincorporated, and try to get ranked #1 for anything obscure, even if like brick cleaning. So that allowed me to place #1 for brick cleaning in a little non-incorporated part of our county called Hawkinson. So once I'm able to bite off a first place rating, then it just swarms in and it just starts. So now I'm ranked #1. You know, the majority part of, that goes up and down based on reviews coming in and based on the algorithm. But I'm able to rank in the top 3 all week long with 4 of my key search words. That was AI. So if it wasn't for AI, I'd probably be about halfway where I am right now. If it wasn't for AI, crunching those learning curves, show me the marketing trends, show me like demographics. I'll show you now. So I used AI last week. So we're going to do a EDDM postcard. It has 3 of our services on it. A lot of guys just mail those into zip codes. But you can go on, AI showed me, I can go on into the post office website and I can dial in the demographic by age, value of the house, income. So when you narrow it down by people over 65 and $1 million houses, that's a great place to drop 5,000 postcards every 30 days. So I'm excited. We're going to start mailing those out. And I was going to just do 10,000 and blanket them out there. But AI, and this is just a few days ago, showed me that it's better to hit a really good demographic and hit them every 30 days. And I wouldn't have went that way. I wouldn't have did it that way at all. So that was able to just, once again, condense that learning curve for me where I feel like I'm going to be where the hockey puck's going with that instead of where the hockey puck's at currently.
Yeah, there's so many solutions that you didn't have even a year or two ago. Yeah. I guess on that topic of marketing, where do job leads tend to stall for you when you look at your marketing? Is it the marketing? Is it the scheduling? Is it the staffing? Where do you slow down as a business? Because I know you're looking to grow like everyone else.
So let me see if I understand this question right. Where's the lead flow stop? Where's it choke at?
Yeah, or where? Yeah, like where? Even if we think about AI, between your marketing to get new customers, then you need to schedule them, and then you obviously need to staff them. Out of that flow, where do you think AI could help you out of those 3?
The content on the follow-up is crucial. I mean, we could write it by hand and think it sounds good, but if you A/B test it, it doesn't do nearly as well as you think. But you liked it, I liked it. And then AI will come up with the response on the follow-up. And I'll just give you an example. Like on the third touch, it'll say something like, "Hey, Joe, I don't mean to be a nuisance. I just want to close the loop. I know we have an open quote out for you." And it buffers it out so it's not so obnoxious because people turn it off, or they unsubscribe. AI was able to smooth it out and be very personable and have a sense of humor. It has some humor in it, You can always tell me to kick rocks, but if you haven't moved forward, and it's the wording, the content in between the follow-ups, just recently I noticed was crucial. It was choking there. It was just a pest. It was a nuisance. Something people they don't even see it no more. But with good AI, a sense of humor, and consistent follow-up, I notice those leads just get more and more qualified, so that when a human does go back in there, they compliment on it. Hey, I get those emails. You're not being a nuisance. I appreciate the follow-up. It weeds out the non-buyers, and it definitely just tell me to drop those out, and I'll pick them up later.
And do you have a team following up? Do you have a sales team who follows up with the real person follow-up? Who does that?
Me. So my wife's starting to take over the admin positions right now. So that probably in the next 4 weeks, 6 weeks, definitely the beginning of the new year, she'll be the face of like my coach calls it, the face of the income the revenue, the face of the revenue for the company. So I'm going to pass that off to her. She's a real estate agent, so she's already got that personality. She's stepping away from real estate right now to spend more hands-on this right now.
That's great. And that makes sense. And some companies don't even have that advantage. And so it's great you have your wife and you have AI working to really help you with the amount of leads you have, which it's great you have that. I guess if you did have if you could wave a magic wand on one part of the customer experience you could make better, what would it be?
For me or for them?
Well, maybe you think about areas that you've received some feedback. I wish payments were easier, or I wish during the job I could give the owner a call with a question, or I don't know, just,
So,
yeah.
one thing, I mean, this would help us both, and I just learned this from my coach. It's called a shock and awe bag. So I have a chapter I've been working on with my coach. Well, money well spent. That's $699 a month, and they already fleshed that all out. It already pays for itself. So here's the experience. Like, yeah, we started using it yesterday, and I'll just walk you through it. So when my technician goes through the software, he calls up the customer. This is the script. Hey, Joe, this is Sage with Wow Wash 360. Just want to let you know we're on the way. We're going to be there in about 35 minutes. We're going to stop off at the store, gas up. Can I grab you a cup of coffee or anything?
Nice.
That was a great response, man. They warm right up. I mean, they warm right up. So then when we leave, and I'm not doing this yet, I'm just getting ready, I'm putting them together. It's called a shock and awe bag. And this is to retain customers because they'll cheat. I push a lot of door knocking out here, and a lot of my competition, they copy what I'm doing. So they got door knockers. They're putting on nice shirts, nice hats, tucking in their shirts, and they're knocking doors. Now, I know a lot of parts of the country frown on that, but out here, it's 54% of my business come in from door knocking. So what the shock and awe bag is, it's just a plastic bag with our logo on it. It has magnet, so that goes on the refrigerator. I'm going to do like Seahawks magnets, the two best teams around, the Seattle Seahawks and Wow Wash 360 with the schedule, or the Portland Trailblazers, or the Ducks, a local team, and like a 4x6 magnet. I used to sell this stuff, so I know that. Then inside of there's an ethical business practice manual of all the businesses around the area that you can look these up online and find. It's an ethical business catalog, and it's a little book that goes inside the bag. And then that with like a candy, just a nice ballpoint pen. I don't buy shit pens either. I buy like the $2.05 metal laser engraved pen with the stylus on it. And it's a shock and awe bag. And then on top of that, your technicians have magnets for the kids and dog treats for the dogs. So when they get out, if there's a dog or there's a kid, hey, is it all right if you give your kid a magnet? Hey, is it all right if you give your dog a treat? So from the welcome call, do you need a cup of coffee or anything? To the shock and awe bag, to the dog treats and something for the kids. Nobody else is doing that out here. I think implementing that's going to change my customer experience different than anybody else's out here. Nobody else does it like that.
No, people aren't doing that in a lot of places. I think that from a customer experience perspective is fantastic. So in our last couple of minutes, I wanted to ask a couple questions and maybe zoom out before we close up about the future. But when we talk about, just because marketing is so important in your business, so on the consumer side of the business, you mentioned door knockers, and what is your number one form of customer acquisition at this point? Is it digital, or is it how are you acquiring customers? What's your number one method?
Personal question. So I'll tell you. So I use third-party data and I text into it. So third-party data, I have a media company called Wow Media 360. We also help I coach a lot of kids, a lot of youngsters all over the country. So we coach a lot of them. And one thing that I'm able to get for them, it's third-party data. What that is they're scraping routers for people that have looked up. You get 5 keywords like pressure washing, window cleaning, roof cleaning, gutter cleaning, and say driveway cleaning. You pick 5 keywords and you get 8 zip codes. And then every week I'm able to give them a fresh batch of people that actually looked those services up. So they get it in 2 ways. They get a map, a Google map. They can open it up, and it has different colored flags. It's on a Google map that shows each color symbolizes the service they looked up. So we can actually go out there, get right on the door, or we can mail them something, or I can call them. It also opens up in a spreadsheet. I can see if they own the home, want to make sure they're not renting. and I'm able to see everything about them. How many times they refinanced their house, whatever. Everything about them. So I can either call them, email them, or go to them in person. That's been one big game changer for me. I mean, those I was 60. Oh yeah. That's how I got DeAndre Ayton is through Facebook ad, and then I just started up Google Guarantee, and I spend right now. I'm going to drop $1,500 a month on Google ads and $500 a month on Facebook ads. And
Okay.
then I got Google Guarantee going as well, but they're going to change the Google Guarantee platform on the 20th of this month.
Okay. No, I mean, I think, listen, I feel like you have a nice mix. I guess when you look at the B2B side of the business, when you look at apartment buildings or storefronts, how are you, because B2B marketing and B2C marketing are obviously, you take a different approach.
Yeah,
What is your
absolutely,
approach
totally
to
different
B2B?
approach. I did not know that either until I got this coach. Totally different approach. So like with window cleaning, like storefront window cleaning, you don't want to wear this in there. You want to be the business owner. You just want to dress cash. And if your cars are branded like mine, get that parked off to the side. Because if you're standing there in your shirt and say, hey, can I speak to the owner? They're going to go in the back and say, hey, there's somebody here from Wow Wash 360 who wants to talk to you.
We don't want to talk to
Tell
them.
them I'm busy. Get a business card, tell them I'm busy. But if you're there in your civilian clothes, the chances of you getting some FaceTime with that owner are a lot greater. And then the script's real easy. Hey, we're cleaning a lot of the storefronts in the area. We do this and this. I'd love to get you on the route, and I'd love nothing more than to earn your business. And big difference on the pricing on that compared to like other ones. Then for like apartment complexes, senior living centers, things like that, getting ready to do an email campaign. I already got the templates on property managers, residential managers on apartment complexes and on retirement homes. So we're going to do an email blast into those as well as what I just mentioned.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's great that you have now realized the difference. You've pivoted your approach a little bit, and it sounds like you're on the right road. I think when it comes to a profitability standpoint, I'm sure B2B, the margins can be pretty handsome, correct?
Yeah, and I got really lucky there. So I was out in my truck one day. That's why I love branded trucks. I didn't know this guy. I didn't know this guy was who he was, but it's a guy named Mark Jackson. He has Jackson's Contracting out here. He's a very well-known contractor. He builds churches and strip malls. He liked the truck. Anyways, he started picking me up for a post-construction cleanup. And he liked me, and he just says, hey, Rich, I don't know what you're doing wasting all your time with these residential guys. I mean, they can be real Karens. I think you need to spend more of your time. He talked to me like a coach or a mentor right off the bat, even though he's 2 years younger than me. But he just sold his company for $72 million, so I'm going to listen to him. So he goes, you ought to be trying to get more of this post-construction business like me. He goes, and I'd love to help you circumnavigate that. So that was, that's some stuff. That takes a learning curve because you don't want to wash new windows, new construction. That's a totally different process on cleaning those windows, which I didn't know. Thank God I had a good window cleaner. And you go in with those, you can't use a water-fed pole, because you got the cement dust and the sheetrock dust on there. You're going to scratch that glass. It's totally different. Got to go in there and squeegee and mop it. They take razor blades and they lube the window up. It's a whole different process without scratching it. Totally different process. So I was able to learn that on the run, only because I had the right connection by luck, and I luckily was able to. I have a world-class window cleaner working for me now.
That's great. Well, I love the approach there, and it seems like a big opportunity for the business. I guess if we zoom out a little bit, where do you want this brand to be in 3 years?
So that's so we want to be in about 12 to 15 major cities in less than 36 months.
Okay.
Probably more than that, because social media. I don't know if you follow me on TikTok. It's a crazy play. I'm not on there dancing. It's a business account. But every day I show what I do it for is I want my competitors to know that I'm working every day. Both jobs, 3 jobs, all my jobs, they get put on TikTok. What that's done for me is that's bringing over my avatar franchise partner guy. That's the guy that's like they're getting young too. Some of these guys are like in high school calling me. They're like from 17 to 23. They've already tried to get out of the truck. They realize the struggle and scaling. They get their buddies working for them. The quality service takes a crap. They're out there trying to sell. The guy that's struggling with that, going back and forth, I'd rather just cross them over, put them in our, they come over, they got to have a 680 credit score. I followed 1-800-GOT-JUNK's franchise model to the T here. $120,000 to buy a territory. And then the caveat with our franchise business model is Wow Media 360, my media company, will keep their schedule loaded. We're going to deploy telemarketing. We'll develop their door-to-door team. We develop all the sales. Business in a box. It's a plug-and-play system. All they have to do is focus on bettering their teams, their technicians, and getting more trucks and technicians trained. And we'll take care of everything else for 12 to 14% a month. So my caveat there is, so I'm pulling those guys over from TikTok into my school community, skool.com, where I have it's called Blue Collar Hustle. You should go check it out. It's free right now. And so my avatar client is coming over from TikTok, and that's the guy I described right there. The guy struggling to get out of the truck, wants to grow, but he's getting pulled back and forth into the truck, out of the truck, into the truck, out of the truck, based on who he's got working for him. So we can fix that for him, and we can keep him. We can get him to that $1 million mark within 24 to 30 months, depending on where they're at.
Yep. Well, so it sounds like in 3 years, a big national franchise.
Yeah, we are, and we already got
Wow
them lined
Wash.
up. And we got them lined up. I mean, I got Cincinnati ready to go, Tampa's ready to go, Fresno, California, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, Bellingham, Washington, Fresno, Visalia. I mean, I got about 12, 15. They got a 680s credit score or better. They can afford the $120,000, which we offer financing for. I have a way to help them get through the SBA. I got a buddy that worked with the Small Business Development Center. Every town has a Small Business Development
Everyone's
Center.
got one, yeah.
Great place. They are an underrated organization. I mean, they are game changers for mentoring and getting these guys. They polish them all up and get the rough edges worked off of them before I ever get them. And then, if they've been in business for 2 or 3 years and they've got revenue coming in and they're just struggling, I can help them get funding for the $120,000. We have it's going to be a real plug and play system. They can deploy it anywhere.
Great. A nice blueprint, make it easy, this is the way I actually love to end these conversations is we talk to a lot of people who want to be entrepreneurs. They want a side hustle. I'd love your real world advice, unfiltered, to people who say, I want to own a business, but sometimes they use words like absentee ownership or easy. What can you set my audience straight on what it takes to make it, especially in the home services or commercial services space?
I think I coined this phrase myself from some books I've read in the past with other things. This is the first 2 years, 3 years, depending where you're at. I call it the pissing blood phase. You got to be willing to piss blood for 2 years. I mean, if my wife wasn't in real estate, I wouldn't have been able to scale this fast. I wouldn't have been able to, if it wasn't for my wife, this company would look totally different. I'd probably be pulling a trailer around with a magnet on the door still, because this stuff's expensive, but she was able to free up $60,000 when I launched. Now, I know everybody can't do that. So when I'm coaching guys, if that's not their situation, I don't ever want to advocate the way I did it to a kid that I would never suggest taking on a $1,700 truck payment with insurance and having, that's a lot of stress. So every scenario is different. I was very lucky. I was able to scale this fast because my wife believed in me and she was able to put 60 grand down when I went out to Orlando, Florida and bought my first rig from AC Lock here at Soft Wash Systems. But before that, we came up with somebody to send me out to go see Cody Yarborough in the Core 4 over. I went to WashCon and I was able to go out to Roanoke, Alabama. This is actually where Cody Yarborough's from. And believe it or not, when I got out to Roanoke, Alabama, the first thing they started talking about on these blue collar businesses is AI and how to properly use AI and how in the blue collar world, so many guys aren't using it that if you're the first one using it in your area, you're going to get a real good start on things.
That is a Great way to conclude. We could not agree more. And I also love your advice about those 2 years. Sometimes it's more. I think in the end it pays off if you work hard, but it is not easy to make this work. And you're doing a great job. And I really hope your 3-year vision that you mentioned today happens for you. And, we really appreciate you coming on the pod. It's been fantastic. Thanks so much for coming, Rich.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Have a good one. Bye.
Good luck.